What's up, guys? Welcome back to, I think it's episode 2 of the Full Time Podcast. Recently, me and Dan have been awarded the best sports show at Sonar Radio for 2019-20 university year. So, cheers for everyone, Radio Sonar. Cheers, Danny Humby. We love you too, first of all. And our first thing is the Premier League's back. We don't have to watch boring Bundesliga anymore. Don't have to actually worry about what's going on, if it's going to get cancelled. We do know Liverpool still probably going to win the league, but we'll see what happens. How have you been doing, Dan? Been good?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Finished uni now, so into the real world again, mate.
Yeah.
How have you been?
Not bad. Same thing. Trying to find a job. Not going great, but still, we move on. And our first thing is football. Yeah, the Premier League's back. Basically, our first point, Paul. What do we expect to see? Obviously, we were going to record this a while ago before Premier League was actually back, but we didn't because of timing. But it's fine. So, let's go. What do we expect to see when the Premier League come back? Do we think it was going to be as high pace as it is at the moment, or do you think it's gone slow?
Well, it was a difficult one to tell, wasn't it? Because teams had a lot to play for still, but they sort of treated the fitness levels were obviously similar to that of pre-season.
Yeah.
It's obviously going to be difficult for teams to adapt, but we've seen some really, really competitive matches. Actually, saying that, barring the Arsenal one and the Norwich one, where you could see that Norwich were quite leggy. We've seen some pretty good matches.
Yeah, I think it's the teams who come out of the woodwork. You can see obviously the water breaks having a massive effect on the teams. Like, that is needed. Fair enough for them to bring it in and bring in. I think it's 5 or 6 subs. I mean, that it proves it works. Like, it's helping them back to fitness. I know they did another pre-season. They called it pre-season. I think Sky called it, where a couple of teams would play other teams from either the Championship or the Premier League, where they just get some game time in them, test on the pitch, see what's going on. I don't think it worked for teams like Arsenal. They didn't have the greatest pre-season or start to, I don't know what you call it. Is it okay, let's call it pre-season just because that's probably the easiest thing to call it. But yeah, you saw Arsenal play Brentford, and I think I can't remember who else they played, but they played another Championship team. And even then, David Luiz was making mistakes. There's a viral clip. I'll try and find it and put it in, where he just punts the ball and just loses it again. And then we see going into the City game, they don't start him. Obviously, he's not their first centre-back. Yeah, they've done what they can to bring in the centre-backs they need. And it does show they need another centre-back from his performance. But they bring him on. Obviously, it's a bit the injury is not really their fault. And he makes blunder. He made about 2 or 3 blunders. And really, 2 of them led to a goal. He got red carded after, I don't know how long. What was it about?
Oh, yeah. He came on just before half time, didn't he? Made the mistake for the goal. And he got sent off just after the restart. Yeah. Bit of a liability,
that shows how much the preseason or going into the fitness and everything changes a player's mentality. Because he's probably coming into that game thinking, oh no, I now have to come on. That's hard for him. You've got to give him a bit of credit. He's come on. They've gone down a man because of the injury, and he's come on, and it's hard. But a player like that of that quality should be able to be focused on the game. He is, I would say, he's one of the veterans in the Arsenal team, especially in the back line. Obviously, you've got Papadopoulos, Mustafi. But they're not really doing a lot. They're not as good as I think Arsenal fans once thought they would be. And obviously, they've been unlucky with injuries. If they didn't have an injury torrid back line, they would have been all right. They have a lot of young players coming through. Obviously, they have Chambers. Obviously, he's not replicating the form that he should be. You've got Pablo Mari, who I still don't know why Arsenal signed him. I think Arsenal fans think he is a lot better than what he is, but I don't rate him that highly. I was talking to an Arsenal fan, and they're like, yeah, he should be the person starting alongside Mustafi and David Luiz. I'm like, but he's not what you need. You've got a Rob Holding. Yeah, Rob Holding got injured, and he was playing well. He had great games before he got injured, but he's kind of slacked. I was talking to George, and I was saying Arsenal just need that. Obviously, Thiago Silva's coming out on a free at the end of this season. He's been linked to Everton with Ancelotti. Obviously, Ancelotti knows his quality. Been around the Champions League for numerous amounts of years. But I feel like Arsenal, that would be the dream signing for Arsenal. Currently in their situation with centre-backs, they don't have that veteran leader that they need. They had the Koscielny. Yeah, he wasn't as good as he could have been. But Koscielny was still that player that would drag him out of the dark. The same Mertesacker. Mertesacker always got stick. But he would perform when he came on. He would be able to... he would be a solid player to bring on. And now they're bringing on David Luiz. Obviously, he makes his mistakes, but they just need someone that's going to do something for them in centre back, just a leader, really.
Yeah,
Back line.
yeah. I was going to say, well, watching Thiago Silva, he's a bit more of an organizer, isn't he? Like he's not sort of an all-out centre back where he gets stuck in and he's like roaring into challenges and stuff. He is more of an organizer. Like doesn't really need to jump in and like make a challenge. He's already intercepted the ball. So maybe Arsenal need a smarter centre back, not like a warrior like Papadopoulos comes across as. He's a bit more combative. He likes to get involved with all the challenges. Whereas maybe need someone a bit next to him, maybe he's a little bit smarter, such as Thiago Silva. Yeah,
because you see, like, obviously Thiago Silva's been in that PSG backline for what must be like 6, 7, or 8 years now.
Yeah, it's got a long time. Yeah,
and they've obviously built the defense around him. You see, like how well the players play. Obviously, you just feel like he would be that calm head that Arsenal need. He's someone that they really need, someone, and also because they have youngish centre backs coming through that could be potential to be their starting, like Rob Holding, Callum James. I know Callum James has dropped off like in the last season or so, but injuries halt obviously progress.
Is he still there?
I think so. Yeah, I know he went out on loan last season to Fulham when they were in the Prem.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he's still there because he played a cup game at right back. I'm pretty sure when they had an injury to Bellerin. So then you talk, like, let's go back to Arsenal again. The team they lined up with, you would not think that you would be lining your game up with Man City. You would not be playing.
Yeah, then they include a lot of youngsters. Yeah.
There was 3 youngsters in their attack. They Nketiah, I think it's Eddie Nketiah or Nketiah.
Yeah.
I don't. And then you've got Joe Wilcock and Guendouzi was a bit of a surprise for me.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're struggling. Like, Arsenal just need that one transfer window. Like, they brought in Arteta now, who is the like fan favourite. They need to just bring in some good players. Like, I don't know whatever happened to El Neni. I know El Neni's not the amazing player that he is, but he could always do a bit of a job for Arsenal.
Yeah, he reminds me of just like the average Premier League player, though.
Yeah, like it's the holding midfield. They need Ndidi, someone like Ndidi as well. Or like,
I think a lot of teams would be after him, like would need an Ndidi. You sort of look at anyone apart from maybe Liverpool, City, and Leicester because they've got him. Like Ndidi would probably fit into most sides of the Premier League.
Ndidi, I'll take Ndidi at City. Like I think you'd take Ndidi at Tottenham. Like he's a solid player.
He would transform Tottenham's side, to be honest.
That's what I mean. He's the one Yama that Spurs wanted or Spurs needed
when they stay healthy for more than a year.
Yeah, but you can kind of see Arsenal now. Obviously, they're going to have their transfer window, and hopefully now they've got their favourite in Arteta. Or they just get Arteta out of retirement and just stick him there. He was a decent player at his time, wasn't he? He could have done a job. But I really think Arsenal, they still haven't recovered from Ramsey. I think Ramsey was such a pivotal player in that team, and they've never really got that player that covered that position. They've never really recruited that. Yes, they brought in Xhaka, which obviously they thought it was going to be better than he was, and you've got to give it to him. He's not been too good, but at time he can develop into a better player. He's still kind of like 20. I want to say he's 26, 27. So he's still got like the prime of his career, but it's just I don't know with Arsenal. See, they lose a lot of players. They've got a lot of youngsters coming through that are good. Like that Joe Wilcox had a decent game. Nketiah obviously played for Leeds halfway through the season, then get brought back this season, or was it something like that? I think.
I think he was on. I think he was on loan this season. Yeah, I think his loan was suspended.
It was quality, but it's the whole situation with Aubameyang. Does he want to stay there? Does he want to go?
Yeah, that can't help. Like he's obviously their best player. And when a best player can't commit to the club, it's a bit worrying.
It's disheartening. It's disheartening to the players as well as the fans. Like that, you want your leader, you want your captain to want to stay at the club, and he's the person that's going to bring your team forward and bring out the bring the morale up. But it's not happened for Arsenal, and I think Arsenal just lacklustre that performance. I don't know if they didn't expect City to come out of the block so quick.
Yeah,
because you could see from that City obviously. Through the training, they've been putting their paces in, and they did play well. At some points, it was slow, and like Pep they kept it back, controlled the tempo away from Arsenal. But sometimes at the start of the game, Arsenal looked good. Arsenal were attacking with real venom, but I think it's just you need that lead. I don't know. A couple of years ago, you saw that Arsenal team with the likes of when Ozil first came to the club, like when Aubameyang first came to the club, I know it's like 2 seasons ago. They were like a team to be messed with. They're a team with like, they've got a couple of like proper, like world-class players that can change a game. But you just don't see that anymore. You look at the Arsenal lineup and you're not really, for me, I'm not, if Aubameyang's in that Arsenal 11, I'm not as worried about coming against him as I would when he was in that Dortmund team.
Yeah, he's the sort of the thing with Arsenal is, and obviously I'm a Tottenham fan, so I might be a little bit biased here, but their team looks so much better on paper than it actually is.
Than it actually plays.
So their front three has the ability to be the best in the league, but everything around them just crumbles. It's like building a really nice table with a really heavy top, and then using the legs as like breadsticks.
Yeah.
So your forward line is carrying it, but it's also making it crumble.
Yeah, I think they need the spine. Like the whole, I know this obviously from past. You need that solid spine. You need that centre back. You need that centre mid. And you need that striker just throughout the team. Like you had City years ago. You had Vincent Kompany in defence. And then you had Aguero up front and David Silva. That was City's spine that did so well for years. But you just can't. You don't see that with Arsenal. You need that, like we said, the Thiago Silva. I feel like Thiago Silva would just change the game for Arsenal because
there you go. So say they got Thiago Silva, and they have Aubameyang, and Aubameyang stays. Like, who do you reckon they should get in the middle to shore up that spine? So I'd probably say they replace Xhaka with Ndidi. And they're quite settled.
But who would take? I'm sorry, but who would take Xhaka? Would Leicester? I don't think Leicester would need a Xhaka.
Speaking of Leicester, actually, sorry to interrupt, Jake. They've just Ben Chilwell's actually just scored in the 90th minute.
Oh, really?
As we're recording, yeah, and it was a good goal.
Wow. What? So it's just 1-0 to Leicester.
It's 1-0 to Leicester, yeah.
Oh, heartbreak for.
But anyway, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, I don't really know like players that now like your top midfielders in the world. You've got like obviously Milinkovic-Savic is ridiculous. Yeah, but I don't see him at an Arsenal. I don't think. No. I know this is bad. Although Arsenal have a lot of history in recent years, I don't think they can bring the pedigree to the team that they had before. They can't bring like their Vieiras, their players like that to the team anymore. And what they're doing, they're building for future. Fair enough. That's what you want to do. Bringing Guendouzi in. He's a great player that in the future he's going to develop into hopefully a superstar. But I just don't feel that they have the pull that they do anymore because they have been out of everything for so many years. Like, yes, they've been in and out, like obviously Europa League and things. But players now will want to go to teams in the Champions League. I feel like, I know this is a very bold statement, but at the moment Leicester probably have more of a pull than Arsenal do currently.
Probably.
Because of like the excitement, like I don't know, it's just a weird one with Arsenal at the moment. I think they're going through that. I don't want to say tenure, but they're going through that couple of years where it's a bit rocky, and then hopefully they'll come out on the end of it. They just need someone or something to happen within the club to just bring it back to the top where they were before, because they were a good team. They've always had solid teams, but they just need to they need to staple at the top. I know obviously they don't get a lot of money. They don't have that much money bringing in. I think it's still Stan Kroenke, is it? That owns the club.
Or is this the guy?
Like
Usmanov or something?
They don't have enough money as obviously the City, like the Liverpool, but it's just about recruitment. They've done well in the past years in like transfer windows, but they just need that step. I think that is it now. The staple in centre back and the staple in centre mid. That's all, a defensive midfielder. They just need, I don't know. Idrissa Gana Gueye would be good. That's a decent, and it wouldn't be that expensive. I don't think it'd be ridiculously expensive. No. And then you've obviously you've got loads of Leeds of players the amount of money that goes into
from Leeds.
That's what I mean. You've got
he looks pretty decent.
Yeah, I've been watching that Leeds documentary. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, I haven't
but I don't know if he'd leave. I don't know if he'd leave. That's the thing with players now. Would they leave? Is there a point because of everything going on? You obviously know it's going off a tangent. You have that Kai Havertz thing, linking him to Chelsea and everything going on there. But will he leave? Like, is it a point of staying out another year? Seeing
will he go to Arsenal?
Yeah, will he go to? Oh, well, he's linked to Chelsea highly.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw he tweeted.
Oh my God! Sorry again to interrupt, Jake, but Watford have equalised with an overhead kick.
Who?
Craig Dawson.
Oh my Lord!
Yeah, I know.
I haven't heard that name in years.
Sorry, well, I just saw it out of the corner of my eye. I had to look. They're
I'll
just
have to have a
equalised.
look at that in a minute. Oh my lord, yeah.
But
So
yeah,
yeah, I think going to Arsenal. Obviously, we're focusing a lot on Arsenal. I think there's a bias towards Arsenal in this, or a hatred towards Arsenal. But
yeah,
another thing, like we've seen, standards of football, like you said, is kind of not the same as it was. But I think the more they're playing games, the more they're training. It's going to, like, in the next couple of weeks.
it'll get up
It's
to
going to
speed.
get back to normal.
It's pretty much the first game of pre-season. You'll probably see within this sort of like period of 9 games, each match has got to play. Around the 4th or 5th is when you'll start seeing a lot better fitness.
Yeah.
But the first games back is just it's just training exercises really.
Yeah. So another thing I thought was quite interesting, the pumping of the sound into. But it's weird because I was watching Sky Sports coverage. You can watch it with the sound atmosphere or without the sound atmosphere. So I think when it was first, I thought that they were pumping the atmosphere into the stadium for the players.
Right. Yeah.
But it's not. They're not. They're doing it on Sky, and then they've made a system that will play sounds at certain moments of the game if like someone scores, someone gets subbed, which is fair, but it's just not real, is it? Like it's not the same. Like you can see the crowd and there's no one there. It's not the same. Just leave it how it is. I think it's quite interesting, like not hearing people, like not hearing the crowds and actually hearing the players, hearing the managers shout to them. I think that's quite interesting. I think that's a really interesting point. Like UFC and stuff, you hear that all the time, and it gives you kind of more of an insight on what's going on. And I know that's all shit. Sometimes it's shouting, sometimes it's like they're actually speaking to each other. But I think that works. I know it's boring because there's no crowds, there's no chanting, there's obviously nothing like that, no one spurring it up. But it's quite interesting to see, and it's how players react to that.
Yeah, you can also hear the amount of communication that goes on between the bench and the players, and between the players themselves. Like all the shouts that they get, and they're like to communicate with each other. Like that can be helpful for like younger footballers if they watch it.
Yeah, and you see a lot of young players are getting called up now. Obviously, like pre-season. I think is David Moyes still the West Ham manager?
He is. They're playing tonight, I think.
Yeah, and I think it was Villa as well. Dean Smith, I think, is the Villa manager.
Yeah.
He started that Hedgson Mari, I think he's called. He's like a young striker for them, and he said he came out. He was like, in the pre-season that we just did, he played better than all the strikers and was on form. Like, why not give him the opportunity? Like, that's what in football management you should want to see. Like a lot of not more English talent or younger talent coming through, because this is a time where you can play. Obviously, City game, go back to City game. Played Eric Garcia. Fair enough. He played a very good game, but unlucky at the end.
Unfortunately, injury, wasn't it? Yeah.
But he's fit and healthy, I think, now. Well, he's come back from hospital. I saw some pictures of him and Edison. Obviously, you don't want that to happen. And obviously, just finishing off in the City game, Phil Foden getting a goal, coming on in the second half. Fair play to him. He deserves it. Decent player. I think, for me, Phil Foden is that player that needs to be starting more, but I think that's going to happen when David Silva leaves, because that is at the end of the season. David Silva's out. I don't really see us going in and buying another player in that position, because the only player I could see really buying is Kai Havertz, but he's going to go to another team.
How do you upgrade on David Silva?
That's what I mean.
You've sort of got the next thing in Foden without spending any money. So why would you?
That's what I mean. And it's De Bruyne. Like De Bruyne can play Silva's position. He's been playing Silva's position for a couple of years. You've got Bernardo Silva anyway that can play that position. So we're kind of overrunning that in that field. So I think obviously they are probably going to bring someone in, but I don't know if they're going to bring in a first team or they're just bringing in obviously a youngster. It would be nice to see just more youngsters getting an opportunity, like the likes of Phil Foden. You've got Felix Nemecha in the under 20 or under 23s it's called now. And I think, fair enough. Give the youngsters a chance. Like, obviously, there's a lot of money in football. It's a game. It's business. As well as a game. So you just want to see youngsters do well, because a lot of players go under the radar, like Jadon Sancho. Sorry, he got under the radar at City, and he could have been a star. Like, obviously, I don't know if you've seen come out in a press conference. Leroy Sané is not going to re-sign for City. It's looking like he is going to Bayern Munich, which. Fair enough. If his heart's not in the game, his heart's not in the place, like we were saying before, if his heart's not with the club, let him go. Like, he is an amazing player. I could see him back at City in a couple of years, like give it like 5 or 10 years. He's still young. He might come back after what he does in German football. But I don't know. You can't keep players that don't want to stay there. There's no point. Like, let him go.
I'm not a big fan of that move, to be honest. I mean, Bayern are an awesome team, but like, I suppose if he wants to go back to Germany, that's the only sort of place he can go where it's sort of emulated at City.
Yeah,
like that sort of will match the
play
success he
style
had
and
at
stuff.
City.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just like it's Bayern Munich. They're always going to win the league. They've won 9 in a row. It's just an easy
Like,
league title.
I know he was linked to
France.
Liverpool as well, which I didn't really agree with. I don't think he wanted to go to Liverpool. I don't know. There's things coming out. He's saying one thing, agent saying another thing. So he was linked to Liverpool, but you're not going to get in the first team at Liverpool at the moment. It's the whole thing about Timo Werner. Like, that's another thing. Timo Werner linked to Liverpool. He wasn't going to go to Liverpool and then get benched. He wants to go to a team that he's going to start games in the Premier League, start all the time. That's why Chelsea was a better option for him, because he knows he's going to start in that Chelsea team. He can start anywhere on that front three in that Chelsea team. I'm sure he's got more than any better skill. He's just a better player than any of the Chelsea front three at the moment. And obviously they're rebuilding, and fair play to them. They've brought in well. If they bring in Havertz, that is an extremely good team. That's a team see with the youngsters.
Team Chelsea could have next year. You got you got Ziyech, who's already coming in, Werner and Havertz as a free behind Tammy Abraham, or as a front three, like you said. Like, that's scary.
And you still got, obviously, Pulisic isn't as good as he first was at Dortmund, but he's still young. He's still an amazing talent. You got Mason Mount still, and then I just think Chelsea. Frank Lampard's inherited a good team with Chelsea. I feel like unlike he's inherited decent youngsters and everything. I just feel he's just better off at the moment than the other teams and than the other managers. Sorry, like Arteta. Because he's inherited a good young squad that he can build on, but still give these young players. Because Mason Mount a year ago wasn't thinking he's going to be the starting Chelsea midfielder, was he? He was probably thinking, I'll get a couple of games in and out, and that'll be all right. So now it's come to it. Like, obviously now he's going to want to start. Yeah, he's proved his worth. Some games he wasn't as good as he could have been, but he's young. Yeah. He can grow. Players like that can improve.
Exactly. I mean, it's they're sort of they've got a good defensive shape, but their attack has probably let them down. Like Tammy Abraham, as much as he has scored a lot of goals, he's missed a lot of chances as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm quite worried about Chelsea, especially if they get in the Champions League as well.
Oh, Tom has just messaged me, so we can see if we can get him in.
Yeah, he said he's he's at work.
Oh, he's at work. Oh.
Yeah, he's on the close.
Or not then.
Shout out to Tom.
Yeah. Maybe next week. We'll see. But yeah, I don't know where I was going. Oh yeah, with that, I was going to say, had a little point on here on my little Word document. Is Liverpool gonna lose it? No. Statistically, City. If City lose one game, Liverpool won it. They're too many points clear. I think fair enough. They're not going to be remembered for the team that won the Premier League this year. Obviously, this year is going to be remembered for the pandemic. So, have they really won the Premier League? Probably not.
It's going to be funny listening to fans of Watford and Brighton and Bournemouth saying, "We didn't actually win it, did you?" The season got stopped, and then everyone was
I think Watford tweeted something, and it was Atletico Madrid tweeted Liverpool being like, "Oh, if the Champions League gets cancelled, does that mean we win the Champions League because Liverpool won the Champions League, or were favourites?" And then Watford, tweeted the eyes emoji and be almost probably the same for us then, which is quite funny. That's good. And the social media through the pandemic for the teams and everything, what they're doing now is good. I don't know if you saw it in the League One and League Two playoffs. They put cardboard cutouts of the fans in the stands.
They do it in Germany, actually.
Yeah, which I think is quite funny. That is quite good, but you have to pay, which is a bit. Surely, if you have a season ticket, you should just put a cardboard cutout of yourself in that seat. Yeah. Obviously, that's another revenue for clubs that don't have as much money as the big top tiers.
Of
like
course. Yeah.
like your cities. Obviously, they did like a fan cam thing. Was quite cool, but I don't know. It's obviously things like that is pay to be shown, isn't it? With like
Yeah.
high up teams. But yeah, going on to the next thing. Obviously, we had our first game back. Our first Premier League game was the Aston Villa and Sheffield United game. There was a massive controversy with the VAR. Did it cross the line? Did it not cross the line?
It definitely did.
It crossed the line. But did you see when they explained that because he hit, was it Mike Dean?
Yeah, Mark Dean was. Well, no, it was.
Or Craig?
I
Was it
can't
Craig?
remember.
They're all refs and they're all idiots. But so he had a watch on to tell him if the ball crossed the line.
Mark Oliver,
that's it. But the watch didn't go off, and then when Sheffield protested about it to, I think, VAR or whatever, they came back and said that all the 7 cameras that were in the stadium were covered by players, so they couldn't see that the ball crossed the line.
Yeah.
To me, that's a bit fishy. To me,
that's not. I mean, everyone could see it. Like even the cameras that were picking it up, like the broadcast cameras, they could see that it went over the line.
Yeah, it went over the line. Like the striker pushed it into the goal as well. He pushed the goalkeeper into it. But I just don't see. And the Premier League board came back and said they're not going to give them the goal either. Which, if you're a Sheffield player and a Sheffield fan, you just feel robbed. Like that.
Yeah.
And luckily for Sheffield, they're in a good position in the Prem. But imagine if that was 3 points for them to be relegated, and they needed that 3 points, and they'd have stayed up. That'd have been shocking. But I don't know. This is a very I was thinking about this. Surely they can't say all 7 cameras didn't see the ball, because broadcast cameras saw the ball. So do you think that they didn't have the cameras set up and they just used that as a ploy to just get themselves out of?
I don't know. I think that's an excuse. That's not like if they said they held their hands up and said, okay, we made a mistake. Like it won't happen again. We'll put things in place. I think most people would have still been a bit annoyed, but would have probably got over it. But like using an excuse such as all the cameras were covered by the players, it's like we can see that it wasn't.
Yeah, it is
like
a bit
we
silly.
can see a camera where the ball is over the line. So yeah, it's just it's not an excuse.
To be honest. Yeah, well, obviously we spoke about the City and Arsenal game in detail. Not right up 3-0 for City. Good game overall, really entertaining. That was the biggest match so far, I'd say, except obviously the Tottenham game, the Tottenham Man United game, which happened yesterday, ended 1-1.
Yeah.
I can't say I watched it, but from reading online and reading blogs about the game, I'd say David De Gea had a slip up. That's all I'm really getting from it. And supposedly Pogba and Bruno Fernandes are the best midfielders in the Premier League, which I still don't see.
Well, yeah, I mean, I watched the game. Bergwijn's goal was really, really good. He sort of he got on a knockdown and ran it all through. He ran past Maguire like he wasn't there. And came inside. Yeah, hit hard at De Gea. And it's just bounced off De Gea into the net.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Causing Roy Keane to absolutely blow his top, which I found hilarious.
Yeah.
He was. He said on Sky Sports that he's the most overrated keeper he's ever seen.
But then he's kept United in for so many years.
Well, going back a year to the last time we played Man United at home, De Gea made 11 saves to keep the score 1-0 for United.
What does that show?
I mean, he's definitely up there with the top 3 keepers in the world, but for him to say he's the most overrated keeper, I just don't see it.
Yeah, it is a bit silly.
I think he's a quality keeper.
Yeah, he's a great players had a mistake. Obviously, speaking about Spurs, Lloris had a couple of mistakes last year. There's a mistake in a keeper, but it didn't come up clutch in big situations because there's so many times where De Gea's dragged United out of the dirt.
Oh, and even Lloris yesterday, he made some really important saves.
Yeah,
he made some really, really important saves, really good saves to deny what was a bit of an onslaught in the second half.
But
65% possession, something like that.
I saw a clip of Pogba pinging an insane ball, United fans on Twitter. As I could. Someone was like, "Oh yeah, if De Bruyne did that, that would be everywhere." But fair enough. Pogba is a great midfielder. He just hasn't got. I don't know.
He hasn't
It's
got
not
the
the team.
consistency.
Yeah, he's just not consistent. He's an amazing player. He's probably one of the best midfielders in the Premier League.
Yeah.
As an all rounder, because he can. I don't like to give United players that much credit, but he can do a lot. Like, he is a really good player, but he's not consistent enough. And I think because the players he's around as well are decent, but a lot of them are inconsistent as well. I don't know if that comes from like training or anything like that, but you see Pogba in like playing for France, he's pretty consistent. But then when it comes to United, it just feels like his heart's not in it anymore. And that's a big statement.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, he obviously sometimes when he's playing, he looks a bit lethargic and he looks a bit
like the Yaya Toure of years ago.
uninterested.
Like he's running, but it doesn't look like they're running for the ball. It looks like they're just going slow to it. But then as soon as they're through on goal, 1-on-1, mate's got 90 pace and he's running through like skilling out defenders left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
I think it's just come to the point with Pogba. Yeah, but is he going to win anything with United in the next 2 years?
Well,
maybe the League Cup.
Maybe Sky Sports were really, really banging on last night about what a good run Manchester United are on, and to be fair, like it's similar to like the run that they went on when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was hired.
Yeah.
They haven't lost in 12 games. They've conceded 3 goals in that run, and now they've just got Bruno Fernandes, which makes it. He's a quality player.
Yeah, he is a great player. He's a solid
and
player.
he makes them better. And I also thought played a good game last night without grabbing any headlines. Scott McTominay.
Yeah, he's been doing it. Like, I'm not like when on the radio I used to give him a bit of shit because I thought he was shit. But he's actually pretty decent. Like he's young as well. Like you got to give it to him. He's a young player coming through. Like he could be. I know. Like he could be that Michael Carrick of that United team. Not like the best player to play for United, but someone that's been in there for years that will perform when you need.
He reminds me of Darren Fletcher. And
yeah, I was going to say Darren Fletcher.
It's not like a dig at him, but he's busy. He's a busy midfielder. Like he's always scrapping for second balls, and he's always on the hunt for like. He never really stops.
Yeah, he's the player United really need. To be fair,
yeah,
like
he's a good base for Pogba and Fernandes to sort of run off.
But then, do what they want. Do you leave then him holding and then because obviously Pogba's box to box, he can play either attacking or defensive. Obviously better attacking than like in recent like years, I would say. But like that's the problem with the United group. How do you line up? Do you line 4-3-3 with like Bruno Fernandes attacking Cam and then 2 holdings, or do you leave it with like a diamond in the middle and leave McTominay holding back?
Yeah, I don't know. I think when they defended last night, they were slightly staggered. So like when Fred was playing, he was playing like slightly further forward than McTominay. So it was sort of you had the 2 centre mids, 2 centre backs, and then like McTominay here, and then just in front Fred. So, yeah. And that made it easy for like Lamela to get in. But I think when they eventually do it, when they eventually get full squad again, their strongest 11 probably includes Pogba and Fernandes playing next to each other with McTominay just behind them.
Yeah, because that United squad, obviously they have been hit by injuries. They have a decent team, and they've got centre backs. Like obviously, Maguire's still a decent centre back. Like he's still on the top form of his game. He's in the prime at the moment, and he's still got years to go. But it's just going to be the point: is are people going to come and poach at United? Like the talents like Mason Greenwood, talents like Marcus Rashford, Martial, and even Pogba. Like I don't know. I feel like some of them will stay loyal, but does it get to a point if they don't win anything in the next year or two, or at least become in contention for a year or two, or get the players in that they need to? Will they then be like, what's the point in me staying? Let's move on because I'm sorry, Rashford could get into like a easy top 5 Champions League team. Like,
he's very good. Yeah, he's been very good this season as well. Ever since Fernandes came in, they've all been playing pretty well, to be fair. And they actually.
I think it just brings another dynamic, and I think that's what from the start. I don't like to admit it, but that's what Ollie wanted from the start. He needed that player like Fernandes that can come in. He's so dynamic, so quick on the ball, and he can just read the game so easily. It's something that United have needed to. I wouldn't say for years because you had to jump and Mata when he was good first
Yeah.
came on the scene for United that did kind of play in that position and obviously played like that, but not as dynamic as obviously Bruno Fernandes coming in. And Fernandes is still young, so he could still get a lot better than he is at the moment. He's got like bags of potential.
I think he's like 20, well, he's like 26.
Yeah, so he's
coming towards his peak.
Yeah, and it's probably the right time for United. And then I think United, that's what, if I was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, if I was, I think Ed, is it Ed? I can't remember his surname.
Ed Woodward.
Ed Woodward. That's what you want to build a team around. You want to build a team around your Rashfords, which they have. You want to build a team around your Rashford, your Bruno Fernandes, and you want to build it around Pogba and Greenwood. Yeah, like Martial's been all right. Like fair enough to him, but he's not that 50.
There's
50
not many
mil
positions on that pitch now that United could realistically upgrade.
It's just left back, isn't it? It's just left back.
Left back. What, maybe? Oh yeah, I suppose.
You got Luke. I think
it's pretty good at right back.
Yeah, I think it's Luke Shaw. I don't know. He gets so much stick from that United's, like even coaches and everything. Like he hasn't turned into that guy that he once was at Southampton. Like he still is a great player, and he's shown that he can become that. But I don't know if he's like it is a bit peak, but I don't know if he should be in that United team.
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
Is he good enough for a team challenging for top 3?
Well, on the evidence of like what teams he's been in, probably not.
Nah. See, that's United. Ben Chilwell. That is a player. That is a player that you could bring in, and he's just going to be consistent. He's got a pedigree from the year. Like he knows how to play. Obviously, I don't. Who is the Southampton guy that went to Villa? Matt Targett. He was good for Villa when they played. I think he's a bit underrated.
Yeah.
But he's not. I'm not saying he's like United standard, but I'm saying he's like pushing up and getting better. Obviously, you've got like you just want to invest in youth, or you bring in that older player like Tagliafico from Ajax. He's consistent all the years. Why not take a gamble on someone outside of your top 5 leagues that are decent players, and just bring them in and see how well they do. Look, you've got like Alexandro that Juventus brought in, and he's quality for them. Like I think Alexandro and Danilo both came from Porto.
I think the dream silent left back for any club would be Alphonso Davies.
Yeah, he's solid. And obviously, not a shout out, but it's a credit due to Bayern Munich for winning 8. They're not Ledesma's. Am I saying that? Is it Ledesma's or is that?
Oh, I don't know.
Or is that? I think that's Real Madrid. It's Ledesma's.
Ledesma.
Yeah, is it Ledesma?
Ledesma was 10 Champions Leagues.
Is that it? Oh, okay, now.
That was that was 8. That was a while ago now.
I can't remember what it is, but they're like when you win things in a row, some teams have a certain
right. Okay,
it. But obviously,
I think I know what you mean.
Munich won 8. I can't remember what they even got Bundesliga titles.
The 9th title in a row, I think.
Oh no, I think it's 8.
Is it?
They were tweeting something about 8. It was like 8, and then. But I can't remember. The shield is called something, but I can't remember what it's called. Like the actual trophy that they win.
Yeah.
Is called something, but I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, they've won 8 in a row, and it just shows they built on a team. They brought in a new manager. Done well, done all right.
They look scary good, by the way.
But yeah, their team, their recruitment. I don't know who their director of football. They've done so well. Bringing up Pavard, they brought him before the World Cup. They already knew how good he was, and he's just proven. The one thing you could say about Bayern Munich is they need that right back because now Kimmich is basically a midfielder. He can play there. He's under Philipp Lahm and moved up, and obviously you've got Pavard that plays at right back, but. You really, when Boateng goes, you really want him to be that centre back. Him and Lucas Hernandez are ridiculous. They're such good players, and they're not even the starting. They're not even the starting players for their depth is just ridiculous all over the board. And obviously, I think a lot of that is due to loans as well. Like they do loan in a lot of players, but they loan in players at their peak. Obviously, James Rodriguez they had last year, although he didn't do as amazing as he is, and I don't know what's happening with him. Could see him at Everton next season. There's been a lot of links down to
Coutinho as well.
You got Coutinho, who has shown his form towards the end of the season. He was, I think, in the Bundesliga team this season.
Was he?
Scored a couple of goals and scored a couple of assists, like key contributions. And I think he's been touted to come back to the Prem as well. But
maybe.
it's where he would go, where he would fit in. I could see him at Tottenham.
Yeah, but I don't see us paying the wages for him.
No, he's on what,
Especially not now.
like 300k a week.
Yeah, it must be something similar to
But
that.
I don't see him the world's gone mad when Braithwaite is
Yeah.
Barcelona's striker.
Yeah.
And he scored. With fair play to him, he scored. I only played for Middlesbrough.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Like, that is ridiculous.
It's
but
crazy.
Because that happened all with the transfer clause where they can sign a player if one of their key players gets injured throughout the season. And it happened to another team in Spain. I can't remember what team it is, but it happened in the last couple of days.
Oh, yeah.
Is it
Celta Vigo.
Celta Vigo. So their goalkeeper got an injury, and they signed Nolito.
Yeah.
Surely there should be a clause in that whole thing being like you have to sign the position that's got injured.
It actually happened to Man City about 10 years ago now, where their goalkeeper got injured. I think it was Joe Hart got injured, and then like your other keepers got injured as well. So you bought Martin Fulop. You bought in Martin Fulop. And he was obviously not a very good keeper, but it can happen.
I think that's just but then nowadays you have them youth prospects that can probably play in that team. Like, I'm not saying unless you're like, obviously it goes for everyone, not everyone has a great academy, but why not use someone from your youth team? What's the worst that can happen? There's teams that don't have this financial ability to buy the players if they get like a career-ending injury on the goalkeeper, or they have injuries to certain players. They don't have the financial ability to buy another player in, or like get a loan in or anything like that. See, like League One and League Two teams, they're having to stick in their reserve keeper.
Yeah. Did you see that in Russia last night? There was a team who it was FC Rostov.
Oh yeah, I did see it. Yeah.
Their players most of their players got diagnosed with
coronavirus. Yeah.
So they had to play a youth team because Sochi wouldn't reschedule their game. So the 17-year-old in goal made 15 saves and they lost 10-1.
Yeah. It was a league high, wasn't it? That was the most saves ever in a game. Yeah.
Yeah, and we still lost 10-1.
I think it's called Popov as well. Like every player in Russia is called Popov. There's been loads of Popovs that just come through. Yeah. They make a team of Popovs, I'm pretty sure, in the Russian league. But yeah, that is quite funny. But would you see that in the Premier League if players weren't obviously you had it with Bolton in League One at the time. Yeah. No, it was League Two, I think. Yeah, League Two. I think it happened.
League Two. Didn't they start off with minus points on League One?
Oh, it might have been League One. Yeah, it was. Because I went to the game and they were playing literally like, this was a couple of days before they went bust and everything. They played about 10 or 11, 10 or 11 youngsters off the bench because this is where they got rid of all their players because of everything. And some of them played all right. There's a couple of them that outperformed the pros. It's mental to see. Like, you've got to give, like we always say, you've got to give youngsters the potential, like the ability. And teams like Bolton and stuff like this, you might have that youngsters that never thought they'd get. Like, you have teams that, you have the youngsters that are going to get, like, they get released from academies in like City, Arsenal, people like that, and you bring them in, and they could do the job of a player that you've had for years, and you've never ever like tested the potential of these players. It just gives a gratitude to how well like the academy system works in England and how well it works around. It's such a good system that brings through these players. Obviously, some of them don't get the opportunity to break through to first teams, but if they get in the football ladder and then can work themselves way back up, like you had Charlie Austin, like things like that, work themselves up. He was doing a part-time job. He's worked his way up. Like all of that, Jamie Vardy's and stuff like that. Like, fair enough. Like, give the opportunity for that to happen. But yeah, like we said, the two games. So going on right now, you just said the Watford and Leicester game. That was 12:30 kickoff. Ended 1-1. So
yeah,
I didn't watch the game.
Yeah, last 5 minutes.
So we can do a bit. Obviously, we've got a couple of games. We've got another game in 7 minutes, but we can do a couple of predictions before the end of this episode. We're going to go for our first game. Is going to be Brighton versus Arsenal. That's a very successful. A lot of games is a successful time, isn't it? It's like 2 days between their games. But what do you think?
Brighton Arsenal. Oh, I don't know. Maybe Arsenal with all the returning firepower they're probably going to put out without seeing the teams. I reckon Arsenal maybe 2-1, 2-0.
2-1. I'm going to keep writing these down.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Brighton were good before the break, weren't they?
I can't really remember.
Like, they've got a lot of that. Who's the Northern Irish striker?
Morpay. Is it Morpay?
No, he's a French guy.
Oh.
Aaron Connolly.
Oh yeah. He destroyed
Yeah,
Tottenham.
he's been making TikToks as well. I was scrolling through it and I saw him. I was like, wait, I swear this is a Bournemouth, Brighton striker. Sorry, I don't know. Yeah, I was gonna go. You said 2-1 to Arsenal, was it?
2-1 to Arsenal. Yeah.
Okay, I've just done it the wrong way around. For me, I'm gonna go 3-2 to Arsenal.
Oh, okay. High scoring game.
I don't know. I just feel like Brighton might do it.
Yeah.
Like Brighton can get a couple of goals, and Arsenal haven't got the back line that they wanted at the start to come back with. Obviously, they've got injuries. Got rid of Xhaka now. He's injured as well. Got a red card to David Luiz and an injury to Mari. So it's who's going to take that slot?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't actually think of that. Yeah.
Because I think, obviously, because who it was because it was Mari and Mustafi. I think they lined up, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, was it Mari and Mustafi? Yeah. So you've obviously got Papadopoulos, you've got Rob Holding, and you've got Callum Chambers. And then you've got some youngsters I know that they have. But it's just going to be fun. It'd be good to see. Oh, actually, the team lineup is out. Let's see actually who played it. Give us 2 seconds.
Okay.
Who they've picked. Let's have a look. Arsenal versus Brighton. They have gone with the backline of Rob Holding and Mustafi.
Okay.
So that I think that just goes for my point that Brighton are going to score a couple of goals. So our next game is West Ham versus Wolves.
Oh, is it West Ham at home?
West Ham, yeah, indeed, are at home.
Not that it really matters much anymore, but I say with home advantage. I don't know. I reckon Wolves could do them.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do. Maybe 1-0. 2-0. Yeah, 1-0.
1-0. 1-0 Wolves. I don't know. West Ham look good. They have a decent squad, but it's like they haven't played a game yet either, have they? No. None of them have. That's their first game back each. Obviously, Arsenal going back on the Brighton thing. Arsenal have the advantage because they've already played a game.
Yeah,
Brighton haven't. But I don't know. I think Wolves are going to be too good. They have such a underrated squad.
Yeah,
they've
got stuff to play for as well, which is really important.
Yeah, Europa League that they need to get into. I'm going to go 2-0 to Wolves.
2-0.
And then our final game of the day is Bournemouth versus Palace.
Okay.
Sunday fixtures.
I don't know. Bournemouth versus Palace. I'd say with Bournemouth have probably got some players back, and they've got something to play for as well. Because they have
they don't want to get relegated, do they? They're close to relegation.
Yeah. So I'd probably say Bournemouth maybe 2-0, 2-1.
2-1, yeah.
2-1.
Obviously, I don't know if you heard. I didn't even know. Crystal Palace have an eagle. Just they have their home eagle, like their mascot. There's an actual live eagle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it sadly passed away. So I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it died. I don't know. I saw something on Instagram, which is quite sad. But it's I didn't even know that happened. I know they were called the Eagles and stuff like this, but I didn't know they actually had live eagles flying across the stadium. What? That's ridiculous. Yeah. That's quite cool. But I don't know. Bournemouth, as we said before the show, Ryan Fraser's been told that he's not going to be part of the squad next. Well, he said he doesn't want to be part of the squad. And
because he refused the short-term contract.
And I think Eddie Howe's might just kick him out of the squad then and be like, "You're not playing."
Yeah.
So for that, I'm going to say, he's a big miss. Like taking Fraser out of that squad, that brings in someone like Ibe, that brings in someone like Stanislas.
But Ibe's out of contract as well. He's signed a short-term deal, but I think he's going to be going.
See, you've got they brought in this Dutch winger from Dutch League, obviously. and I don't think he's played at all. I haven't seen him. I know he's probably come on as a sub, but I don't think he's played. But it'd be interesting to see if he actually plays today. And he seems quite good in like highlights and stuff. Like Bournemouth has shown when they first loaned him, he seemed good in training. So for that, I don't know, but Palace, because I think Connor Wickham's actually back now.
Yeah,
as well.
Not that he makes much difference.
But you never know. Connor Wickham, like a couple of years ago, you banged Connor Wickham on the pitch and he can score a couple of goals. I think he scored, didn't he? Didn't he score like on the last game they played? I might be completely wrong, but
he might have done. He might have done. I think he has scored a couple of goals.
He's been around for Palace for years.
Yeah, he's been. Yeah,
but
did he start there?
Did he start? I feel like he started at Sunderland.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It might have been Sunderland. Yeah, you're right.
Or Bolton, or like Birmingham, or someone like that.
Yeah.
Because I remember, didn't he score in the playoffs for Palace?
Oh, he might
no.
Have won.
Or no, he scored for Sunderland in the playoffs, I think. Or scored for Sunderland he scored for Sunderland in the FA Cup semi-final to win it.
Okay.
I can't remember who it was against though, because then we had Sunderland the next week.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, on that massive tangent, I'm gonna go for a 2-2 draw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think a 2-2 draw might see a bit fewer on both sides, and obviously Bournemouth losing their players. Palace have now a decent squad. They've got their injuries back. They have some good youngsters. You've got the Ayew, you've got Jordan Ayew.
Yeah.
Who was really good. He was playing so well before the break. And then, so I can see something like that. So going on to Sunday, our first kickoff is Newcastle versus Sheffield. Obviously, Newcastle still haven't been brought over. The saga's been going on for about, 3 months now? 3-4 months?
A while.
But I don't think I don't know who said, I read a blog or read an article and it was like, they've got to pass a club buyer's ethics test or something, the owner.
Oh, right, yeah.
There was like questions over it.
Yeah, I don't really know the ins and outs of that, but I know they have to pass the test before.
But yeah, so Newcastle at home to Sheffield. Obviously, Sheffield, I think, will be hard done by. I'm just going to say Sheffield 2-1. Oh, I'm going to say Sheffield 2-1.
Okay.
That's a good one.
I think, Sheffield, as well.
Yeah, Sheffield have already played. They've got that advantage, and they're going to want to get a win from. Obviously, everyone wants to get a win, but there's going to have that more emphasis on getting a win. Due to the Villa game. And then our last game, our second to last game on Sunday is not the big one. It's Aston Villa versus Chelsea. Obviously, Villa at home. They did all right to hold against a good Sheffield team.
Aston Villa Chelsea?
Yeah.
Aren't City playing Chelsea on tomorrow night?
I might have got the wrong. No, I could swear that's the fixtures. Let me have a look. Unless this app has done me wrong. Nah, it's Villa. Nah, City got Burnley on Monday.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, sorry.
Shocked me for a second, Dan. I was like, shit, I've done the wrong research here. What do you mean?
It's because I'm watching BT Sport and they're showing Chelsea City. So I thought
and it's
Yeah, okay, sorry.
Yeah. What are you going to go for?
I'm going to go Chelsea. I just think they'll be too strong for Villa. Maybe 2-0.
Score prediction, 2-0? Yeah, I like that. I'm going to go 3-1 Chelsea.
Yeah, I just think Villa score.
Yeah, Villa look decent. They look decent up front against Sheffield. They just couldn't. Obviously, Dean Henderson did well. Like, he's a good keeper, and I think he's someone that needs to be England #1 in the next couple of years. If he can duplicate the form, obviously he's. I know it's going to have another tangent, but it's fine. We've got plenty of time. He is a United loanee. He's going to go back into that United squad. And is he ever going to get a space when De Gea is still there? Obviously, De Gea is getting shat on at the moment. So you never know. In a year or so, De Gea could be out the door. There's always links to him to Atletico Madrid.
Exactly, yeah. He's going back
Atletico
there.
Madrid have Oblak, so what's the point? He's probably the best keeper in the world at the moment. So what's the point? But I don't know. I just if they got I can't say his name, Kepa Arrizabalaga or however you say it in goal. I still feel he didn't keep up from it. He still had mistakes towards the end. And with a break, with a keeper making that many mistakes towards the end of that half season, going into this season, is he really going to have the confidence that he did when games are like going, and also Chelsea haven't played. Villa have.
Yeah, haven't played yet. Yeah.
So Villa are going to start in the next gear because they already know what to expect.
That might be. That might be.
It could be an upset. It could be a little upset either.
Yeah, well, I hope so because then it opens up the top 4 race.
Yeah, and then we've got the biggest game of the weekend, I would say. We've got the Merseyside derby. I think this is the second time Ancelotti's against Liverpool. So it's Ancelotti versus Klopp, which will be a good. I still don't see how Ancelotti's the Everton manager. That is ridiculous.
I know.
What is his world coming to?
But I do think that they will lose.
Yeah, yeah. Everton still don't have a great team. They still have. Ancelotti needs a good two seasons in the team just to build the team he wants. Because Everton have the money. They spunked a lot of it last season on big players.
Yeah.
And the season before, sorry. And Richarlison, still, like I said about Pogba, he's an amazing player, but he's not consistent. He can do amazing things in and out one week, and then the next week plays like bloody Matt Jarvis. Like, he's not as good. But yeah.
Say Matt Jarvis.
Yeah, Matt Jarvis. He used to get in and out of that Norwich team like anything.
And Wolves.
But what would you predict?
3-0 Liverpool.
Yeah. Everton, they both haven't played a game, so this is both their first game. So it will be good to see if fatigue or anything like that. My thing isn't working. Okay, I'll fix that later. I don't know. Everton, I just don't see, like, they got Yerry Mina at the back, who was meant to be amazing, not that decent. Michael Keane's kind of dropped off in the last year or so.
Yeah.
Fullbacks, they got Holgate, who's coming through. Still pretty decent. He's been around the Everton team for a year.
They lost Gay.
Yeah, who was an amazing player. They still got Schneiderlin. Really, they haven't they?
Yeah.
He's someone that's literally... But could it be a reformed Everton team?
You never know.
You never know. Yeah, and the whole thing about you got Alex Iwobi, who likes a game against Liverpool.
It would be funny if Liverpool didn't get a single point from now to the end of the season. See if
is that going to happen though?
See if they actually did win the title or not. But I don't think it will. I think
they could just roll over. Imagine Liverpool just rolling over and getting injuries to their key players, and they're gone.
Well, technically, they only need to win 2 more matches.
Yeah, they need 6. So. Yeah, but then Liverpool could lose all their games, and City only need to lose 1 or 2.
Yeah,
or draw a game, and they've still won the league. Liverpool just banter it and lose all their games. They could just score like 2 own goals, banter it all off, banter the Premier League.
Put the pressure on City.
Yeah, when they've won the league, just play a full team of youngsters. Who cares?
Exactly. Yeah,
literally, give them the opportunity. I'm gonna say, I don't know. I like a Merseyside derby. Like, you got the famous Phil Jagielka screamer from the edge of the box.
Yeah,
like something like that happening. You think Michael Keane could pull something like that out of his locker?
I don't think so. You got Jordan Pickford. He's got a mistake in him as well.
Yeah, that is a good point. I am going to go with the final result is going to be 4-2 to Liverpool.
Oh, that is high scoring.
It's a Merseyside derby.
Okay.
And I think Liverpool probably have some mistakes in them as well.
Maybe.
I think Alisson is back now as well from injury.
Yeah.
So that gives him a bit. If Adrian plays, I can see even more goals going in. I'm not going to lie. He's not that amazing. But fair play to him. I think that's where, 4-2, 3-1 or something like that. I see Everton nicking a goal. I mean, they'll come out of the blocks. Obviously, Merseyside derby is first time back. And what a game to come out of this whole situation. And the first game you're playing is a Merseyside derby. And you've got all the local players wanting to. You got John Kenny doesn't even play. No, he plays for Schalke now.
Yeah, he's on loan at Schalke.
You've got Tom Davis. Hopefully, will get a start. Like some of that, you've got local boys that will come in and try and do it. I know Everton, like Ancelotti's been playing a lot of youngsters recently, but you've got players that will want to win it. But on that note, Liverpool's team is just ridiculous, and I don't really see that much going wrong.
They're just too good. Put it like that.
But yeah, the whole thing I think I was going to say to you before about is Jordan Henderson. What a player he's turned into. Everyone gave him stick when Gerrard left. He'd never be that captain. He'd never be that player that would be as good as he is now. And he's won the Champions League. He's basically won the Premier League. He's what Liverpool needed to come in as captain.
Oh yeah, he's done what a captain should do. Really, just led by example.
He hasn't obviously got the iconology that Gerrard has, but you never know. In another like 3 or 4 years, he could become the standard. Like, could you actually say that Henderson is better, is a better captain than Gerrard? If he wins another champion, if they win another 2 Champions Leagues and another Prem and a couple of league trophies,
maybe. I don't know.
I don't know if I see it happening, but it could happen.
Well, you never know.
England winning the World, if England win the World Cup or the Euros when they restart, hands down better than Gerrard. So we're going to put that to you. This is going to be the end of the episode.
Yeah,
that's going to be the talking point. If England win the Euros, whenever it happens again, I don't know if we'll talk about that.
Next year.
Next year. If England win the Euros, Henderson gets another Premier League and another Champions League. Will he, in any way, from Liverpool fans, be respected as being better than Gerrard because he's done that much? Or is he emulating Gerrard? What do Liverpool fans think? Hopefully we can get a Liverpool fan on next week. I don't know if I know any, but someone will come out of the dust, won't they? They all seem to do at the end of the season.
They might win the league by the next week.
So everyone might want to come on. But thank you all for watching. If you did enjoy, don't forget to, I think I'm going to put it on YouTube, so like and subscribe. Share around, mate. Share on. Send us some questions. If you want to be featured, send me a message. We can always do guests, I'm sure. And then when everything goes back to normal, we may be able to do a live episode. We never know. Ooh. But we'll have to wait and see. But cheers for watching, guys. We hope you have a good week. Enjoy the football. We hope our results come right. We should do something. If we get we should do something to do with if we get our results correct, something happens.
We could do a weekly table or something.
If
winner gets a $5.
Well, not money. Do something like eggs or something like that. It's skint at the moment. The student loan doesn't come in anymore, so not that good. But hope you all enjoyed. We hopefully we'll be back next week. We don't know with timings and working things. We could be back at work, but thank you for watching. As I said before, and I've mentioned 8 times, and that's going to be it.